So yes, I want to officially welcome everyone to the UOW College Diploma of Nursing Information session. Thank you for joining us this evening. I know it's right at dinner time, so we appreciate your time. Now, I just want to mention briefly to please feel free to ask any questions that you may have throughout the presentation. Put them into the questions into the chat box, and we've got some team members in the background that are happy to answer any of your questions. As I said earlier as well, we'll also be able to have some time at the end to have a Q&A. So please feel free to ask as many questions as you possibly have throughout. All right, thank you. Okay, let's move on, and then I'll start introducing you to I guess, some of our panelists this evening. So first, I just want to show you, I guess, a little bit of a video on our Wollongong campus. So I know that there's a lot of people here that are interested in studying at Liverpool, and we will have a video for that for future presentations, but this is our Wollongong campus, just for reference. So that was a very, very short video. And now I just wanted to move on to an acknowledgement of country. So we do acknowledge that country for Aboriginal peoples is an interconnected set of ancient and sophisticated relationships. The University of Wollongong spreads across many interrelated Aboriginal countries that are bound by this sacred landscape and intimate relationship with that landscape since creation. From Sydney to the Southern Highlands to the South Coast, from freshwater to bitter water to salt, from city to urban to rural. The university acknowledges the devastating impact of colonisation on our campus's footprint and commit ourselves to truth-telling, healing and education. So this is just a little bit, I guess, about what to expect this evening. So on our next few slides, we will meet our panel members. We'll go a little bit over who UOW College is and what to expect. And as you can see here, we'll go into the Diploma of Nursing, as well as the course structure, the benefits of studying at the college, the different types of study and personal support that we offer, as well as scholarships, entry criteria, and the application process and question and answers. So I do just want to highlight one more time, definitely don't include any private information in the chat. If you do want to have a personalised chat with us, we can arrange that, and I'll get my colleague in the background to put in our email address as well as our number to, and just make sure when you are sharing that, Carol, if you could just make sure you're sharing it with everyone in the chat so all participants can see that. And don't hesitate to ask any questions as we go throughout either. I really highly encourage that. So it's time to meet our team. So I'm Eloise, and I'm the Student Recruitment and Marketing Coordinator at the college. I'm also a UOW College alumni, so I studied a pathway program to get into my university degree. Then we've got Mari Lee, who is one of our lovely, amazing nursing facilitators. So hi, Mari.
Hi.
It's Mari. So if you study with us, you'll definitely get to see Mari's friendly face. I know she's on the Wollongong campus. Are you at the Liverpool campus as well, Mari?
I have gone to Liverpool as well, yes.
Excellent. And then we've got Lachlan Humphreys. So Lockie is a current almost graduated UOW College Diploma of Nursing student and a student representative. So say hi, Lockie.
Hello.
Lockie is going to go over his story as well and about his pathway into UOW College. So you'll have the opportunity to hear about that too. And make sure you ask him any questions you may have from from a student's perspective.
Yes, please. Go.
Okay, so who are we? So who's UOW College? So we're an integral part of the University of Wollongong, and we really do enable students to meet their personal, educational and career goals. So our Diploma of Nursing, as we mentioned before, is offered at our Wollongong and Liverpool campuses. So just to touch on the Diploma of Nursing, because that's what you're all here to hear about. So for anyone that doesn't know and is just at that inquiry stage, Our Diploma of Nursing is an 18-month course, and it does provide you with the knowledge, skills, and attributes for practice as an enrolled nurse. So once you have completed this qualification, you will be an enrolled nurse, and it is a nationally recognised qualification, and it is equivalent to a 75 ATAR. So what that means as well is that you're going to get 48 credit points towards your Bachelor of Nursing. So that means once you've finished this diploma, you have the option to progress straight into the second year of a Bachelor of Nursing. Now, Lockie, that's where you're at, isn't it? And I know students make different decisions at this time when they're about to finish their diploma. Some might go straight into the bachelor, some might hold off a little bit and go straight into the workplace as an enrolled nurse and work full time. Where are you at? Like, what are you going to do once you finish this 18-month course?
I looked at both options going into it, but at the current point in time, I got off my third nursing placement at Hurstville Private Hospital, and I was lucky enough to get offered a job in anaesthetics, anaesthetic nurse and scrub scout, which I'm very excited about in the theatres at the hospital. So I've decided to take the next 6 months after June off and go straight into the workplace as an enrolled nurse once I graduate. And then I will pursue going into my RNs in the bachelor course, I think in Feb next year.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of students do, and you have that opportunity, right? I guess that's the good thing about doing the diploma, completing that is it is a short course. You do get that qualification and you can go straight into the workforce and then still have that option, yeah, to continue those studies. And I know, Lockie, I'm sure you'll tell everyone later, but you've got, I guess, an interesting pathway regarding where you want to go in the end, unless things have changed since I've spoken to you last, but we'll wait till his story. Okay, so I just want to play another video. This is one of our students, Samara. Lockie studies with Samara, and I think I can see Lockie in the background there of that video as well. So these are all real students, they're not actors. And these are our nursing simulation labs on the Wollongong campus that students get to go and work in.
Ever since I was a child, I liked helping people, and nursing is such a rewarding job. I left school in year 10, so I didn't receive an ATAR. Sometimes life just gets in the way. But when I found out about UOW College, it seems like a great opportunity to follow my dream of becoming a nurse. Currently I am studying, and I am planning to work as an enrolled nurse when I'm finished. UOW College provided me with a packaged offer, which essentially guarantees my pathway into the second year of the Bachelor of Nursing at UOW. Not only did the UOW College provide me with a pathway to the bachelor's degree I wanted, it actually taught me the skills I needed to effectively study, which is so important. We have smaller class sizes and are able to build really great relationships with our teachers. It is a really peaceful environment for me. I've also found a great group of friends here. We spend a lot of time laughing in the simulation labs, learning too, of course. UOW College has been genuinely life-changing for me, and I've never been happier or closer to my dream. If you didn't get the university offer you were after, or you just need that little extra bit of support so you feel ready to become a nurse, you should consider UOW College. You'll be on track to become an enrolled nurse and complete your Bachelor of Nursing, feeling prepared and ready. I'll see you here soon.
Yeah, so that's just a nice little video of Samara's journey. So I can see that we've got questions coming into the chat, so that's great. I'll have my colleague in the background answer them. If she can't answer them in that moment, we'll definitely save them for the end, and I'll answer them live in our Q&A. We also find that there's a lot of common questions that come up as well, so I will make sure we answer all of them live too. So now I guess we're just going to touch a little bit on the course structure at the college and with the Diploma of Nursing. So we do have 2 intakes a year, February and July. And as we mentioned previously, it runs for 18 months, and that's 3 sessions over 18 months on our Wollongong and Liverpool campus. Now for anyone where English isn't your first language, there is English requirements where you will have to have a IELTS score with a minimum overall score of 7.0. And then contact hours per week. Murray, it's generally 21 hours per week, is that right? And then 400 hours of clinical placements. Do you want to touch on that a little bit more for me?
Yeah, it is generally 21 hours per week. Sometimes they're a little longer, sometimes they're a little shorter. It all depends on the subject that we're teaching. So obviously we're teaching something like medication, which is one of the largest components. They can go a little bit longer. Then you've got sim labs where we're actually doing assessments, and sometimes you're only there for an hour. It all depends. But yeah, generally it is 21 hours a week and 400 hours, a minimum of 400 hours in the clinical work placement, which we actually organise. So you don't have to organise clinical placement. We organise all that for you.
Sorry, I just realised I was muted still. Thank you, Murray. And Lockie, can you tell me, when do students generally commence their clinical placement? Do they do it? Do you do it in your first session, or when does that happen?
Good
Do you
question.
remember? Think back to Murray will be able to tell us, I'm sure. She'll be able to
correct me if I'm wrong, Murray. I started in Feb. I was Feb 23 intake, and I think my first placement was around August. And I think it was 2 weeks placement. They usually put me, so I think how it works is usual first placement is aged care. They'll place you in aged care for 2 weeks. Then second placement would be a public hospital, like wherever's closer to you locally. So whether that's like Wollongong or like, you know, in Liverpool, closest to Liverpool. Yeah, I got 3 weeks in the renal ward in Wollongong Hospital. And then my last placement, another 3 weeks in Hertzville Private. And then I've got another 3 weeks coming up, which is my last placement in May.
Wow, that's going to come around super quickly. And is that right, Murray?
So yeah, generally you're at the college for a few months. For a few months, and then we try and get you out in an aged care setting. If not, you can end up in a hospital. Then you've got the next 2 placements, can be anywhere from a private hospital, public hospital, can be an aged care if you didn't get into an aged care. We even do GPs. So yeah, and community. So some of our students do go to community, and then in the final we try and get you into a critical care area. So it all depends where you are with your subjects and whether you've passed the subjects is the area we try and put you in. And like you said, we do try and get you as close to home as possible, but that's not always our choice. That happens to wherever there's an available spot. You don't want to be waiting extra weeks or months and, you know, risk graduating with your class because we just couldn't get you down the road from where you live.
Yeah. And I just want to mention something quickly, because I can see I've probably caused a bit of confusion in the chat, just to highlight that English requirement for the IELTS is only for students where English isn't their first language. So typically for someone like Lockie, a domestic student that studied, he's done his schooling in a English speaking country for 6 years, his senior schooling, his high school schooling, then he wouldn't need to sit an IELTS test. It's only for people that haven't studied studied in an English speaking country for those 6 consecutive years. So that would be the only reason that you'd have to sit an IELTS. So for anyone that is a domestic student that has studied in Australia, please don't worry about that English requirement. It's not part of it for you. I hope that's cleared things up. If it hasn't, please let me know in the chat. But I know we do have a couple of international students here this evening, and that would be a requirement for you to look at doing an IELTS or a PTE test. So I do apologise for any confusion. And yes, the answer is PTE can replace IELTS. Yes, you can have one or the other.
Thanks for answering that.
No problem. Okay, so onto the course structure now. This is probably something that I will get Murray and Lockie to touch on a little bit more, because Murray teaches it, Lockie's learnt it. So do you want to go into a little bit more detail, I guess, Murray, about the structure, and then Lockie, if you want to just touch on some of what Murray's talking about and what you've learned and how you found that yourself, just I guess with the specialized tutorials and the classes, like what's been your favorite? The sim labs, you know, the tutorials, yeah, those sort of things. So that would be great. Thank you, Murray.
Thanks, Elle. So yes, it is a competency-based assessment. There are no exams, but we do mark you off on whether you're satisfactory or not satisfactory. That doesn't mean that if you're not satisfactory the first time that you've totally failed. No. There's at least 8 to 11 subject units per session. So we have 4 sessions. Obviously, if you've got first aids, you might get recognition of prior learning. If you've started a course somewhere else and then come over to us and you've done subjects that is equivalent to the subjects we're doing, you might not have to do those subjects again. So that does shorten, obviously, the amount of time that you need to be on campus. It is face-to-face. We have done over COVID, we do Zoom, but we're now back on campus. So it is 3 days a week, a minimum of 3 days a week that you need to attend. Obviously, we all have problems in life that creep up. So you might miss a session. It is 80% attendance for our tutorials and also 100% attendance for sim labs. But like I said, life gets in the way. We get sick, family members get sick. If you're unable to attend, you're responsible to catch up on the work, but we also then have makeup sessions when there's enough students and there's a trainer that's available. So you might need to come in one day, and usually that's during the school holidays, to make up for that session. Our school holidays coincides with the school holidays of high school and primary school. So you're generally not on campus, and we do not have we try not to have any work that you need to do while you're actually on work placement. So try not to give you any assignments when you're on work placements. There are assignments. The only exam, I should say, there is one maths exam, but you'll be fine. We've got plenty of people to help you if some people start worrying about, oh, I can't do maths. You're given the formulas. You're given the calculators. You are also given sessions before the exam, practice questions. We go over and over and over again. A lot of the trainers will actually stay back and help you. And we also have peer support leaders, and there's other places you can go to get the support if you have trouble. I'm noticing what days. Usually it's either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It all depends whether you're a February group or a July group. With sim labs, yes, we have our own sim labs which mimic exactly what it would look like at the university, and we also have what looks like on a ward. So in the sim labs, you are taught how to look after patients, how to give a medication, what to do in case of an emergency, how to do CPR. We teach you all first aid, everything that you need to know what to do as a nurse, you will be taught. So you can basically finish our course, and like Lockie's doing, he will be going out to work, or you can go straight into uni, but you can still work as an enrolled nurse. And a lot of facilities, especially the larger hospitals, are more than happy to accommodate you working on their ward as well as studying. So our trainers basically work, well, I'm mainly based in Wollongong, but I do go up to Liverpool now and again. I have done sim labs in Liverpool. Some of our trainers from Wollongong do go up to Liverpool. When it comes to marking, you are given 2 weeks after the subjects has been finished. You've got 2 weeks to hand in your assignment. If you are struggling, please let us know sooner than later. We encourage you to let us know. That way we can help you. We don't want you falling too far behind. Sim labs are simulated classrooms full of nurse equipment. Yes, we do. We actually have mannequins that simulate people breathing, people having stomas, having wounds. You're taught how to give an injection safely, how to even break open a vial, how to calculate how to give a medication. We find a lot of our students, they enjoy the medication component, or how to do a blood pressure using the machines, and also the old-fashioned ways and doing it manually. Because in the real world, if there is an emergency, the first thing a doctor is going to say to you is, have you done a manual blood pressure? because sometimes computers and equipment doesn't always work. So anything that you need to know on the floor, whether it's at a doctor's surgery, an aged care facility, or private or public hospital, it doesn't make any difference. We will actually teach you through those sim labs, and you will also learn them when you come to the face-to-face tutorials. Is there anything?
And, Lockie, would you say that? Would you say, Lockie, that like learning all of this sort of before you went into your first placement fully prepared you? Did you feel comfortable when you went on your first placement? Because I know that you do a bit of this course structure to prepare you before you first go in. So how did you feel?
Look, this is probably not the right answer, but I probably felt a little bit too confident. Like I wanted to do more things on placement. Like, of course, we're students, so we only have like certain things we're allowed to do. But yeah, I was very prepared to go into aged care, and I loved it. Like I was very lucky again where they loved me and they offered me a job. So I had that job in aged care straight after placement. And yeah, like learning in the class, of course, is one thing, but also doing the sim labs is another. Like I love putting my, learning to doing it physically, and getting to put what we learnt that week in class, into action. I think it's really fun, especially with my nursing girls. I love it. And the teachers, they're amazing, and they'll talk you through. They'll be hard on you, but in a motherly and a very kind, loving way, because they want you to get it right. But no, sim labs is such a good environment to be in.
And a lot of students after first placements, sorry, Elle, a lot of students after first placement are offered AIN positions, so assistant in nursing. So while they're studying, they're actually working as an assistant in nursing. So it also gives them that experience. So you get to know what is happening in the real world and what we're teaching. And we also teach you the law in nursing too, which is very important. How to keep yourself safe, how to keep the patient safe, and your rights. So we do teach you that area. And cultural diversity. I mean, my favourite subject is critical care. So I am a cardiac and stroke nurse, and emergency is my area, but we most of the trainers all specialise in every area, but we all have our own specialties too. So that's one good thing about us is I'll mainly do critical care area. Then you've got somebody who's mainly mental health. We've got some people who are palliative rehab. So we all try and focus in our main specialties, but we're able to teach in all areas.
Yeah, that's great. I did just see, can everyone hear me okay? Yeah, I did just see that someone did ask about applying, and if does it matter if you don't have a certificate 3 or 4 before applying? It doesn't, but you do need to have a HSC. You don't need an ATAR, but you do need to have a HSC. So if you don't have an HSC, then we would encourage you to look at our certificate 3 in individual support, which runs for 5 months and will get you units towards the diploma of nursing, and that will make you eligible to go into the diploma. So I just wanted to highlight that before we move on to the next one. And I can see, yeah, we've got lots of questions coming in here, so this is great. And just keep in mind, if your questions aren't getting answered straight away, we'll definitely answer them. So we'll go on to the next slide now, and look at this. It's Lockie's story. So I would love it, Lockie, if you could, take some time to tell us a little bit about yourself and your story and your pathway into the college.
Of course, and direct me if I go off topic, because I do tend to do that quite a bit. So yeah, I graduated. No, you're right. I graduated in 2022 now, high school 2022. I went in doing a HSC, and I wasn't that confident at my school. So I applied to UOW through UAC and early entry. And I did get early entry into UOW, but I got offered a package offer with the college, doing the Diploma of Nursing and the Bachelor of Nursing. and I took it instantly. And that was so much pressure off me, like academically going into the HSC, because I knew I already made it into uni. And yeah, I'm based in Tamworth. I'm a rural student, so I came up for the open days and I moved on campus to Wollongong. And honestly, the college has been the right decision for me, because going into uni, I was a bit like not confident academically, like going into that space. So I picked the college, one, so I can become an EN and work as a nurse during my bachelor studies, but also to build confidence at uni and get prepared to going into the bachelor. So I know how to reference, I like know how it's structured, and I know the campus already that I'm going to be studying at. And my teachers and the like pals and the learning support has been amazing. Like I missed a sim lab, and I was really lucky enough that some of the teachers would stay after school to like help me through and teach me stuff. But yeah, no, the college for me has been the right step, and I'm almost finished. I've only got a couple months left, and it's really sad that I'm now going to become an alumni student, but it always have a place in my heart, and that's my roots right there. Yeah. Anything you want to hone in on, Elle, that I've missed?
Sorry, Lockie, you've worked very hard too, so you should be proud of yourself. It's not just the teachers, it's also to see students, and that's where our joy is, to see students like Lockie, who has done it tough, who's moved away from home, who's put the hours in, and now look how proud I am. I'm going to cry, Lockie. Congratulations where you are.
Oh.
Yeah, and look, Lockie should be very proud of his achievements, because you know, it's hard work. It's only an 18-month course, but it is hard work, you know, becoming a nurse, and people's lives are in your hands. I always say in my role, I'm not in the business of saving lives, but yeah, I guess nurses are. You guys are in the business of saving lives. So yeah, you should be very proud of yourself to get that far. And I think for anyone here that's starting out and that maybe thinks, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, I'm not feeling very confident. I'm sure Lockie felt the exact same way when he first started out, and the confidence that he has now from where he was is amazing. So you too can look back in 18 months' time and think, wow, how did I get this far?
And we also have a lot of fun too. It's not all serious doom and gloom. We actually do. And Lockie can tell you, we have a lot of fun in our classes, don't we, Lockie? Too much fun some days.
Yeah. Like this is probably off topic, but pulling back, we had a few Japanese nursing exchange students come to the sim labs a couple of weeks ago, and that was I loved it. We taught them like our nursing knowledge about our like healthcare in Australia, and then they did the same with like telling us about healthcare in Japan, and it was just amazing. It was a lovely day, and we have fun. We do.
Yeah, that's a pretty awesome experience. I think it's pretty cool that you guys got to, because they were nursing students as well, weren't they?
They were registered nurse students, yes.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to do it again next year.
Being able to sort of hear how they do it over there versus in the Western culture.
Yeah, it was a good day.
Yeah, I feel like you'll get a lot out of that. You get a lot out of that as a student, so that's wonderful. And you get a lot of opportunities like that at the college. The college is great, and I think it's really important to highlight that, because we are on the university campus, you've got access to everything the university student does, so you really get to live that university lifestyle still. I'm sure Lockie can attest to that.
Yeah, definitely. Use the library.
Okay, so I guess now that, what was that, Lockie?
I said use the library, use everything. It's good. I love it.
Yeah, definitely.
And the pool.
Nothing.
And the sports.
Yeah, that's right. Join the clubs, societies. You've got everything. So yeah, I guess the benefits of studying at the college. Lots of benefits. You know, I feel like we've touched on a lot of these, but just to highlight some really key points you're going to learn those skills and knowledge to better prepare you for university. If you do decide to progress into university, you're also going to become a great enrolled nurse like Lockie will be soon. Now you're going to get access to those nursing simulation labs, like I mentioned, as well as lots of support services that are available too. So we're going to touch on those support services on the next slide. And I know that it can be daunting, and a lot of people may be thinking, what sort of support is available to me? I haven't studied for a long time. I need that support. Well, it's definitely there. It's available to you. Whilst I didn't do nursing, I came in as a mature age non-school leaver student, and I definitely had that fear as well, but I can assure you there's heaps of support at the college. Yeah, so I feel like we've sort of touched on all of these things. You know, you're going to be studying on the same campus as the University of Wollongong students, and the Diploma of Nursing will get you into that second year. And this is the study support that we have available. So you can see there's quite a lot of options there. I guess I just want to touch on each one of these. So we've got our student advisors. Student advisors are great. We have them located at the Wollongong campus, and Greg from the Wollongong campus is also up in the Liverpool campus some days. So you can go to those student advisors and get confidential, and personalised support to really help you manage any challenges that you're facing. It could be personal challenges, study challenges. They're really your first point of call. So the people you want to go to if you need some assistance or advice on other services that you may need. You can always reach out to your nursing facilitator as well, but student advisors are a really good person to touch base with. We also have our Learning Hub. So the Learning Hub is a dedicated space for students where you can go in and have study rooms, study with other students. There's a managed help desk as well. We've got our peer-assisted learning sessions. So these are really good sessions where they're peer-led drop-in support sessions from students who have previously excelled in the course, who are there to help you do well as well. So someone like Lockie, for example, they're helping you excel as well. And it's really good because they understand where you're coming from because they've been there, they've done that. There's also peer assistant coaching. So this is individual one-to-one consultations with the peer learning staff. It's like a consultation, so you can sort of look at doing it one-off, weekly, just really depends on what suits you. And we've also got nursing facilitated consultations available. So meeting with someone like Mari to support course understanding and academic achievement. So if you're unsure about anything, if anything's unclear, you definitely want to go and ask your nursing facilitators straight away because they'll be able to clear that up for you. But the main key point from this is that you need to ask for help. So if you are struggling, or if you just think, hey, I just want to get that help in place now so I don't struggle, chat to people at your orientation, chat to me or one of my colleagues on the phone while you're going through that application process, and we can make sure we get you set up and get you all ready to go so you know exactly what services are available to you to help support you and help you succeed at the college. Okay, so I want to touch on scholarships now because that's a really, really big thing. And we have a few scholarships for nursing. So we've got our Aunty Linda Cruz Scholarship, and this supports Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students with 100% of the tuition fee waiver. So if you're eligible for this, then you will get your whole course completely fee-free. And then we've got our Equity Nursing Scholarship for eligible students with a up to 100% tuition fee waiver, which is available to you. And then our Access Nursing Scholarship as well for eligible students, which will provide a 25% tuition fee reduction. Generally, with these scholarships, you will get your offer for the Diploma of Nursing first. Once you've received that offer, that is when you will be able to apply for one of these scholarships. Okay, so now I want to touch a little bit on entry criteria. Now, you do need to complete Year 12 or the international equivalent, or like I mentioned, this completion of a Certificate 3 or a Certificate 4 or higher. If you have those, great, you can apply for the Diploma of Nursing. If you don't, would definitely encourage you to look at our certificate 3 in individual support. We do have an information session for that coming up soon. Carol, if you could please add into the chat our events page. So anyone that is interested in the individual support certificate can click on there and register for that one, which is coming up next week. And it is fee-free. So that's just a 5-month program. Once that's finished, you would commence in July, and then you'd be finished in time to start your Diploma of Nursing in February 2025. So for anyone that doesn't meet those entry requirements, definitely consider that individual support certificate at the college because it is fee-free. Now, you do need to be age 17 years or older at course commencement. So this is a requirement. You do need to be this age. We can't sort of let that one slide. So you could apply now, and as long as you're going to be 17 years of age by the time the course starts on the 15th of July, then that's fine. You can definitely commence in July. So once you have applied, from there, you will then get an invite to an evaluation day. Now, an evaluation day is part of the application assessment. An evaluation day can be attended online or on campus. So we have them run at our Wollongong or Liverpool campus, or you do have the option to attend online. Now, these evaluation days are run on multiple dates leading up to the session, so you've got many chances to attend. And you can attend a maximum of 3 times. So what we generally find is students won't necessarily pass the evaluation day entrance assessment on the first go, but they will pass it the second time around. And the reason being is because they get access to this diagnostic assessment once they've attempted the assessment once before. And that diagnostic assessment will give you feedback as to how you went at your evaluation day. So it'll point out your weak points, and it will help you, I guess, work through those weak points. So when you do attend another evaluation day, you'll be able to sit that assessment again and feel more confident, and then hopefully pass. So that's why you do get those 3 attempts. So please don't feel disheartened if you don't pass the first time. You can come back and do it again. You also will receive an invite to a nursing preparation session, which is a nursing maths preparation session. So if you don't pass the first time, you can attend one of these. They're just online via Zoom. It'll be myself and one of our mathematics teachers, and we just go over some of the questions in the assessment. We'll put some example ones in there. We'll also give you time to ask any questions, clear anything up, and really just help you feel confident going into your next evaluation day. So there's heaps of support there available to you. So if you do fail, please, I encourage you to register for this nursing maths prep session. I don't know if anyone loves stats and numbers, but last session we had 26 people attend that prep session. And out of those 26 people, 24 people passed their evaluation day. And the remaining other 2 ended up looking at doing a certificate in individual support, and then we'll go on to nursing later on. So it really is a good session to attend. And no, I just want to note as well that there's no such thing as a silly question. So if you attend one of my maths prep sessions, please don't hesitate to ask any questions that are on your mind. We're here to help. And then if you pass your assessment, your LLN assessment, you will go to a course interview. So you will have an interview with one of the nursing facilitators or the nursing program manager. So someone like Mari, who's not scary at all. You'll sit down, you'll chat to her, just tell her a little bit about, I guess, why you want to become a nurse, things like that. Mari, what are the, I know we can't go into like huge detail about the questions, but that's generally, it's a little bit about getting to know the student, isn't it? And gives them an opportunity to ask you questions as well. Is that right?
Yeah, it's an informal session to why they want to be nurses and what we expect of them when they do our course, and also clinical placement and things like that. A lot of it too is also around fee structure, because we don't want anybody doing our course and, you know, can't afford to eat or pay bills. So yeah, it is more of an informal chit chat to see, is this course really for them? If not, what other avenues they can find, like going and doing the certificate instead of the diploma.
Yeah. And that's like, and noting that, as I said before, the certificate does take units off the diploma. So that will actually take cost of the diploma too. But keeping in mind, apply for the scholarships. I tell this to people all the time, apply for a scholarship. It's just throw your hat in the ring. Lockie, can I ask you, when you did your evaluation day, you did yours online? Is that right? Because you were still back home in Tamworth, is that correct?
Yeah, I did it in my bedroom. I did it online, and I was so nervous for like an LNN because I thought it was like, oh my God, this is an exam. Like I was scared. So I actually studied for it. I was so nervous that I studied for it, and unfortunately, I was unsuccessful in the first attempt. It was the math that got me, but that diagnostics and the feedback actually really helped me, because then I came back and I did it again and I passed it my second time. And actually, Mara, you probably don't remember this.
I do remember.
You
yes,
me.
I do remember you. Yes. Lockie was one of my students that I actually interviewed.
Yeah.
And isn't that nice? Yeah, I think that's so nice. Full circle. Yeah.
I wasn't scary, was I, Lockie?
No, you weren't. We just yelled at each other for like a couple minutes, and then you're like, nah, you're fine. Go through. And I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, so yeah, and I think that's that the important thing. It's nothing. The interview's not scary. As soon as I say to people that there's an interview, they're like, oh, what's that all about? But I would say, look, as long as you're passing that LLN assessment, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Okay, so this is just for international students. So for anyone that isn't an international student.
So sorry, we also have the VSL that they can apply for with the government scheme, which is it's like a HEX, but it's not a HEX. So it actually can take up to $9,000 off the course, which they'll end up paying back later once they start working too. So they've got that opportunity, and we tell them to apply sooner than later.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Murray. That's a really good point. Yeah, so vet student loan is anyone that's familiar with HEX, it's not quite the same, but it's similar in the sense that the government will cover, a certain amount of your fees. You will have to pay them back, but you don't have to be completely out of pocket if you don't get a scholarship. So thank you for bringing that up, Murray. So I just wanted to quickly touch on the application process if you haven't gotten to that stage yet. So for anyone here that is a non-school leaver, so a mature age student, that hasn't left school yet, apologies, that had left school a long time ago, or maybe it was 2 years ago, whatever it may be, I would encourage you to apply directly to the UOW College website. But if you're someone like Lockie, for example, when he was in high school, he applied for early admissions, which is something you apply for when you're in year 12. I would encourage you to do that. Or if you're looking at other universities as well and you want to keep your options open, there's the University Admission Centre. So the University Admission Centre is where you can preference 5 different courses at once from different universities and get an offer in each round. So you could put the College Diploma of Nursing on there if you were looking at keeping those options opened. But yeah, otherwise I would just say just go and apply straight to the college website. It's free, it doesn't cost anything, it's very straightforward. And then obviously you'll attend that evaluation day that we were talking about. Keeping in mind this is just for domestic students, this evaluation day. That's something I didn't touch on previously. And then you'll receive your offer, attend your orientation and commence your course. So that's sort of part of that process there. Now next steps. So for anyone that's looking at getting started in this July 2024 intake, applications are open now, so you can start applying if you haven't already. Applications close date, I don't have this here, but I would encourage you to apply sooner than later. Because classes do start on the 15th of July. You do have a little bit of time, but obviously keeping in mind you've got to attend an evaluation day as well. And if you're not successful the first time, you'll have to reschedule for another one. So just giving yourself as much time as possible. We've also got our upcoming evaluation days listed here. So you can see we've got our on-campus one on Monday, the 6th of May at Liverpool, Tuesday, the 7th of May at our Wollongong campus, and then we've got our next one coming up on Tuesday, the 28th of May online. Now, there are other dates that will be released, but these are the available ones at this stage. Scholarship applications, they generally close about a week out before classes, but we will have an exact date for that shortly. And then orientation for this upcoming July session is going to be Monday the 8th of July at our Wollongong campus and Tuesday the 9th of July at our Liverpool campus. And then classes commence, and Mari, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the February intake was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So this upcoming intake will be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's for Wollongong and Liverpool students. So you'll attend every week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then census date. So for anyone that doesn't know what census date is basically a date that you want to keep in mind, because it is a date that you, I guess the simplest way to, excuse me, the simplest way to explain it is it's a little bit like a try before you buy, in a sense. So if something happens in life and you can no longer commit to studying, and you have to look at maybe withdrawing from your studies, or you want to defer, as long as you do this before the census date, you're not going to have to pay any of your course fees. So that's really a date to keep in mind. And then from there, your first session will end around Friday the 13th of December, giving you a couple of weeks before Christmas. And then you'll commence again the following year. So they're the dates laid out for that. And that's basically it for our, I guess, our information session, the formal part of it. But I do want to go into the Q&A. And I can see that my colleague has been answering questions in the background. So thank you, Carol. But if anyone does have any particular questions for myself or for Mari or Lockie at the moment, feel free to put them in the chat and we can answer them live right now.
Sorry, Elle, did you mention
but I'll just
that?
have a quick look.
Sorry, Elle, did you mention that, or you might have did at the very beginning, that once our students do pass our course, because they will pass the course, we will make sure they do, that they actually are automatically in second year of university. They don't have to go back to first. They go to second year at Wollongong.
Yeah. So you'll get those. Yeah, that's yeah. So just to highlight that again, 48 credit points, which is equivalent to the first year of university, you'll get from that diploma, and you'll be able to go straight to the second year, which is wonderful. And I can see here someone has asked, is the enrolled nursing route available outside of the main campus, example Bega? So Claire, to answer that question, we don't offer our Diploma of Nursing at our Liverpool or Wollongong campus, but the really good opportunity for you down at a regional campus like Bega is our online university entrance program. So this is a 14-week program. You will do that online, and you can go to the Bega campus for support. So if you want to go use the library or study support, things like that. And then once you finish that, you can actually progress into the first year of the Bachelor of Nursing. So whilst you can't go into the second year, if your end goal is to go into a Bachelor of Nursing, we can get you there through the university entrance program, and then you'll be studying your Bachelor of Nursing at the Bega campus. So there is an option for you available. If you do want to know more about that, please feel free to send an email through to us, and we can sort of discuss it a little bit more. All right, so I can see we've got another question now. I'm just having a quick read of it. Okay, so there is a student that is studying at TAFE right now doing allied health assistance, so doing the certificate 3, and just wanted to know if there'll be any unit, any units, I guess, that will go into that diploma. What I would encourage you to do is when you finish that, provide us with your transcript. Our admissions team will look at that and see what units we can take off your diploma, but it's definitely a possibility. Let's have a look here. You can see a lot of the questions have been answered by Carol, so thank you. Okay, so someone did ask about the deadline for sending the applications for this coming July, but as I said just previously, definitely look at getting it in sooner than later. I would say the very, very, very latest, probably like mid-June, but that would be the latest, just to give yourself. Applications won't be closed at that stage, but I just think if you want to prepare yourself and be able to attend orientation and be ready to start on time, that you would look at applying then.
Hello.
Okay.
How are you?
Yes. Do you have a question?
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
There's no agent in my country, so I don't know how to go about the application. I'm from Gambia, and my name is Njeme Fon.
Okay. Do you know what I would encourage you to do? Have you seen our Carol, can you please share our email in the chat? And I would get you to email us directly. So after this information session, send us an email and that'll come through to myself. And then we can get you in contact with our international team and they can help you regarding that and give you further advice. Does that sound okay?
Okay, thank you. So I have a higher national diploma in midwifery and a certificate in nursing. And my language of studies was English. So do I need to do the IELTS or?
Look, I would just refer back to what I said. Definitely just send me an email. Just because it's a little bit more personalized and we'll have to look into it a little bit in more detail. So if you can send me that email that Carol's just shared in the chat, I can definitely look into that tomorrow for you and get back to you. And then we can even arrange a personal Zoom call as well if you'd like to do that. That's totally fine.
Okay, thank you so much.
Wonderful, thank you. So do we have I guess, how many people do we take in per intake? Is there a cutoff number there? I know we have a number, but I don't feel like we've cut anyone away ever. From my time at the college, I've been at the college since 2019. Murray, would you agree with that?
It all depends. The number of students that we have will depend whether we have one class or two. So usually our classes are at the very largest around 25. If we can hit around the 30 mark or more, then we run two classes. So we have the trainers. It just means on the days that instead of we'll have a group A or a group B or even a group C, we've actually ran three classes at one year. So it was group A, B, and C. So yeah, it doesn't make any difference.
Can I speak on that too, actually?
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, go for it, Lockie. I'd love to hear it.
It really depends also. So you do orientation, you get to learn all the students that are going to be there. It really depends on the census date as well, whether students decide to defer or pull out. Because I know for my intake, I reckon there was around 40, 50 people in orientation. And then we ended up having two classes. We had an A and a B class. And then more people chose to defer and, come back next year. And some other people pulled out due to census. And then we ended up only having 7 people in my class. So then we combined to one big class again. So now there's like 20 students in my class, which I love because it's more tight-knit and you know everyone in your class and you know why they're there and what they want to do. So yeah, it really depends what people's plans are for the future.
Yeah, there's some really good points. Thanks, Lockie. And for anyone here that I have mentioned that we may not be able to answer the question right now in this moment, please, I highly encourage you to just send an email through. We will look at all of those emails tomorrow morning and we will get back to you and get answers from the relevant teams. And I can see someone here mentioned that they've missed an evaluation day for their LLN test, and they're just asking if they have to apply again. You definitely don't have to apply again. You can re-register again in the link that we originally sent you in that email. But if you don't have access to that, send us an email at the UOWCA-future address, and we will resend that link to you so you can register. Okay, do we have any? We've got about 5 minutes left, I think. So does anyone else have any other questions, or is there anything you wanted to touch on, Lockie or Mari, for us?
There is a question here that I'm not sure if you answered or you probably have. I'm not sure. It says, are the scholarships available to international students? And is there an upper age limit?
There is no upper age limit. We do have students in their late 40s and 50s. Generally, most of the students are around 20s, 30s, 40s, but there is no age limit. As long as you physically, mentally are able to work as a nurse, you'll be able to study with us. I'm not sure about the scholarships for international students. I think they're domestic. I could be wrong. That's something that you'll have to email the team and they'll let you know about them. But I know
Yeah,
that
I'll just there is scholarships available.
there we go.
So if you are international, there is scholarships available depending on what country you're a citizen of. Now, Carol, if you could provide that link, that would be great. Otherwise, if whoever it was that asked that question, if you could send an email to me, once again at that UOWCA Future, I know I'm repeating that a lot, I will definitely get back to you. I guess the benefit of sending this through that email is that we can connect and have a line of communication then, and then you can reach out at any time if anything comes up.
So there is one for a student who did her HSC but has been out of school for many years. Is that going to matter? The answer is no. It doesn't matter. Mature students do just as well as younger students. It just depends on how hard you want to work with anybody and everybody. If you can basically use a computer, if you can know how to research, and you should be fine, regardless of your age and how many years you've been out of school. It doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. If anyone in here, I'm just looking through them all and I feel like we've answered the questions, but if anyone feels like we haven't answered your question, please let us know, because I know I think we're right on time now. But yeah, just as we're finishing up, please let me know if you do have any more questions so we can answer them now. Otherwise, you've got our email address and you've got our number. I'll put it in the chat one more time. Oh, I can see Carol's already done it. So thank you, Carol. If you could throw in the number as well, that would be great. So please reach out to us. We will definitely be able to get those answers to you if we haven't been able to answer your questions this evening. We've got a lot of other people at the college who are extremely dedicated in their areas. So yeah, we'll just leave it for a minute and see if anyone has any questions. If not, all right, I would say that's probably it for this evening, everyone. So I just want to thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Mari, and thank you, Lockie and Carol in the background. And thank you everyone for, I guess, we've taken away from your dinner tonight. So go and enjoy some dinner and please don't hesitate to reach out to us.
Thank you. Bye.
Hey, Locke, quick question.
Yeah.
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 Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I just realized I've got